Why can't we just let villains be villains? It feels like evil cannot be evil in media anymore. Nowadays, villains are watered down. They're not as evil as they used to be. They want to draw the line at ridiculous things such as discrimination, racism, sexism, or give special treatment to children. A real villain will not have any limits when it comes to destruction and chaos. And I am so tired of villains being so goddamn weak. And now we have a content creator crying about SA, grape. You know the actual word that I can't say. Apparently somebody got S8 in Star Wars, and a Star Wars YouTuber known as Star Wars Theory is complaining about it. Yes, he's complaining about this one crime. Meanwhile, this entire franchise is about an empire that just slaughters billions across the whole universe. But slapping a woman on the ass is just way too far and should not be accepted. Yes, we are dealing with this ridiculous logic, and we're gonna look at that tweet that he posted. But before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to push this video out in the YouTube algorithm. And here's a tweet that Star Wars Theory posted. It says, SA in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Emperor in other ways without taking it to a disgusting place. Vader wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Empire condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. Unnecessary. Are you really fucking dumb? Where is your line? Because I don't understand your logic. You're talking about an empire that slaughters billions. But at the same time, you think it's disgusting if one of those members of the Empire decided to slap a woman on the ass without permission? That's too far. That's disgusting. In a franchise that's literally about cosmic genocide? It just sounds like you're a weak little bitch. SA is a power dynamic. Murder is not just a power dynamic, but other crimes are power dynamics as well. And when people see someone doing that to a woman, they want that person to be gone. They want to get rid of that person. That makes you hate the person more. It makes you celebrate even more when they are eventually taken down. And if you don't know what he's referring to, apparently in this new Star Wars Andor show, there's an SA scene, the first one in Star Wars history. And what is the fucking problem? This type of crime has place in every fucking universe, every fictional universe. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Jurassic Park, Alien, Predator. If someone wants to put this in their story, they have the freedom to do so. You need to grow a fucking pair. Because I don't know why you think that SA in a woman is way worse than genociding billions. This is the retarded logic we gotta deal with nowadays. A villain is a villain until he wants to clap cheeks or he wants to be racist. When a 5-year-old shows up, he just decides to just give the kid a lollipop. Meanwhile, he just killed 50 guys before that. But he gotta be soft for the kids. He can be a genocidal maniac, but at least he isn't racist. Or he can be an evil cosmic supervillain, but at least he asks a woman for consent. He could be a monster that burned entire cities to the ground. But if he sees a 5-year-old, he'll give him a little lollipop and take him to the candy shop. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of weak fucking villains. I want people to hate villains in a good way. You can love them as villains but hate them as people. And I'm so fucking tired of people just not wanting to go there. I want to see more SA and grape when it comes to villains in media, because it just doesn't happen anymore. And if it shocks you, it makes you feel uncomfortable, guess what? The writer did his fucking job. Now you should get more excited to see the villain be taken down, because he's a disgusting piece of shit for taking advantage of a woman like that. That's the fucking point. But Star Wars Theory is too much of a little bitch to understand that. And I find it so funny that he's saying this. Meanwhile, in the previous movie, episode 6, Leia was enslaved by Jabba the Hutt. And someone pointed that out in this reply here. Slave Leia in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate Jabba in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. Rada wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Hutt cartel condone it. It has no place in Star Wars. Unnecessary. Obviously, that's making fun of his original tweet. And as you can clearly see, the image shows that Princess Leia is being enslaved by Jabba the Hutt. What do you think that he did here? You think they played checkers? You think they did karaoke night and ate some ice cream? She's literally enslaved and in a fucking bikini. You don't think that Jabba the Hutt took out his big greasy green balls and his long stick and had fun with Princess Leia? I would. We all would. If we had Princess Leia in the basement, oh my fucking god. If we know that she's not going anywhere, we're gonna have some fun. I'm never pulling out a Princess Leia. So technically, Jabba the Hutt fucked Princess Leia. It's canon. Don't argue with me. I don't care if you didn't see it on screen. It's canon. It happened. He busted his nut. She got booty busted. Confirmed. And I can confirm it even more with this image right here. This is a line that Jabba the Hutt said in episode 6. It says, "Soon you will learn to appreciate me." And as you can clearly see in this image, Princess Leia is very uncomfortable. And Jabba the Hutt is drooling. He's ready. He's like, you will learn to appreciate me. Does that sound like fun? Does that sound like safety? Does that sound like consent? Does that sound like he's asking her for permission to touch her? No, she's literally a fucking slave. You don't think masters who have women enslaved touch them without permission? You fucking dimwit. So you know for a fact that Jabba the Hutt blew his nut. The Hutt busted a nut. It happened. It's canon. This doesn't sound like consent. She's not comfortable in this fucking scene. And what else would you do if you had a sexy woman chained up? You're gonna fuck. I can give Star Wars Theory the benefit of the doubt. He most likely saw episode 6 when he was a kid, and children do not understand these darker, dirtier topics, these 18 plus topics. So children did not pick up on the messaging when it comes to that scene. But looking at it as an adult, you can't tell me he didn't grab and grope that woman. You can't tell me that. Maybe I just have a dirty mind. If I see a guy that has a woman in her bikini and he's saying you will learn to tolerate me, hey man, my mind just automatically goes to sex. So why the fuck are you complaining about SA in Star Wars Andor when it happened again, maybe off screen? Just because something happened off screen doesn't mean it didn't happen when it probably happened already. And Jabba the Hutt is the goddamn Me Too perpetrator. I can't stand this fucking logic. Villains should be allowed to SA women whatever, whenever. Obviously it should make sense as part of the plot, but if someone wants to write that as part of their story, they should do it. Just because you're a fan of Star Wars doesn't mean Star Wars can't be more mature. Other popular franchises and movies have done elements like this, such as Kill Bill and Red Sonja. Those are stories that revolve around a woman that had been assaulted, SA, and then they got their revenge. Wow. Isn't that so exciting to see a badass woman get her revenge after she was taken advantage of? Why can't they do that in Star Wars? They can. You just have people like Star Wars Theory, who's a little bitch, who watches the entire franchise revolving around cosmic genocide, but thinks slapping a woman on the ass without permission is way too far. I don't know if that's specifically what happened in Andor. I don't fucking care about Star Wars like that. But regardless of what it is, I don't think it's worse than genocide. So you get the idea, man. People just can't let villains cross that fucking line. That's why villains nowadays suck. Because they always have to have some kind of weird barrier, or maybe the writer is too weak to write the villain in a way that makes them so irredeemable. The best villains are the ones that you love to hate. You want to see him suffer. You want to see him get fucked up. You want the hero to take him down and take him down for good. And how do you make a villain like that? By making him cross every fucking line there is. And if Disney wants to do that with Star Wars, at least that will make the franchise more interesting, because the franchise is dead. There's been so many terrible TV adaptations of Star Wars that the whole brand just is done. It's done. It's over. Nobody gives a fuck about Star Wars. It's a dead brand. Disney killed it. And I honestly think that them putting a SA grape scene into the show makes me more interested in the show, because we don't see this line being crossed in media. And I highly doubt Star Wars Theory or anybody else getting mad at this is going to affect the numbers for the show. People are going to watch it. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, Star Wars is dead. But at the very least, I will give them credit for willing to cross a line that does not get crossed in media anymore. So, oh well, I guess all we have to do is wait and see how successful this show will be. And we have to wait and see how this scene that just happened will affect future episodes' viewership. So I don't have much else to say. I don't want to keep repeating myself. So Star Wars Theory, go fuck yourself.